What's up, everybody? I'm Mckenty. This is my second channel, and this is your home for my Twitch highlights and my podcast. So if you like this and you want to see more of that and you want to join the live streams, there's a link to that in the description of this video. And with that out of the way, it is time for another edition of one-hit wonders that didn't hold up, or maybe that did hold up, in which we will look at some one-hit wonders and we'll ask the question: were they secretly underrated geniuses, or were they one-hit wonders for a reason? Maybe they were actually trash. We will find out. The first song we will talk about tonight is Party Hard by Andrew WK. This is from like 2001 or 2002, I think, and look at this. His aesthetic was fire. He was into the Costco dad aesthetic 20 years before the rest of us caught up to it. This man is too advanced. I haven't listened to any of his other stuff really recently, but I loved this when it came out.
When it's time to party, we will party hard.
That's right, this video can come out today and no one would think twice. I remember when this came out, I saw it on like Headbangers Ball or something like that, or I don't know, I saw it on MTV, and I remember just being like, what in the fuck is this? This is like death metal meets pop punk meets show tunes. Like, what in the world is this? And then I realized that's Donald Tardy from Obituary playing drums. I'm like, what have I walked in on? This guy's like wearing white. He's got these like death metal scumbags playing in his band. What is this? Very advanced. He was like a glitch in the system. That's right. Super catchy song. Like 20 years later, this totally holds up in my opinion. This shit is great. I also remember around this time, I was like fascinated by him because I've never heard anything like this. I think everyone had the same reaction. It's like totally like its own sort of genre. It's bizarre. And I remember kind of going down the rabbit hole and trying to read about him. And I was like, how did he get, you know, Donald Tardy from Obituary in his band? Like, what is this? And no, it turns out Tardy does not explain the heaviness. Andrew explains the heaviness. So he is from Michigan, and I remember reading these interviews back then where he would talk about going to like grindcore shows and stuff in the 90s in Ohio and Michigan. And I'm pretty sure that we went to some of the same shows back then, like Preparation H and Eggs and shit like that. He was into some like pretty obscure, legit grind and death metal back then. The way that he got Donald Tardy to do the album was he just wrote him a letter, you know, because this was like late 90s or something like that. Wrote him a letter and was like, hey, I'm Andrew WK. This is what I do. I have a record deal. I'm doing an album. I love Obituary. Would you like to play on the album? And he was like, yeah, sounds fun. And he fucking killed it. Donald Tardy is one of my favorite drummers. I love this album. I love this song. Andrew WK, super talented songwriter. His other stuff, from what I have heard, is like, you know, it didn't really grab me. But this song and this album, does it still hold up? I would say, fuck yes, it does. This is fantastic. Seems like a really good dude, too. His new album's unlistenable. That is unfortunate, but I'm not surprised. This album is fantastic. Great shit. Next, we have The Click 5. Does anyone remember this band? Sort of seemed like they might be a return of power pop. You know, the genre of power pop is an interesting one. It's sort of halfway between rock and pop punk. Like, it seems like it's pop punk, but it's not, because these bands are all kind of more from like the rock scene. They have nothing to do really with pop punk.
I think you heard of them.
These guys. So what do you guys think? Does this hold up? I would say, you know, if I had to say yes or no, I would say no. I don't think it's bad, but if I had to go one way or the other, I would say it doesn't hold up. I thought this was going to be better. I thought I was going to say, you know what, this song is an underappreciated banger. It's great, but maybe there's a reason they were a one-hit wonder. This is okay, but it's not great. In my opinion, it does not hold up. That's what I think. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I don't hate it, but I cannot co-sign on it. Next up, we have I Love College by Asher Roth.
If you have a drink, put it in the air.
Putting it in the CD player.
Crazy. I had this one girl completely naked. Drink my beer and smoke my weed.
The lyrics definitely don't hold up. This was an earlier era. This is 2009, I think. You know, we had very different ideas about consent back then. Let's just put it that way. You wouldn't make this song now.
Pass out at 3, wake up at 10, go out to eat, then do it again.
Pass out at 3, wake up at 10, go out to eat, and do it all again. I remember I was in college when this came out, and I was like working and taking like 18 credits or something like that. And I was like, who the fuck goes to college like this? Because I could like barely fucking keep up. I had like calculus, financial accounting, stats 3, and like philosophy of science the same quarter. And I was like, Jesus, I have to read a goddamn book a week and do all this math homework. And I was a business major, supposedly an easy major. It's like, what are you guys majoring in that you just get to like fucking sleep in and go out to eat and drink every day? Jesus. And you're right. This is the most aggressively white song ever, possibly even more aggressively white than Thrift Shop. I didn't know if that was possible, but apparently it is.
I want to go to college for the rest of my life.
I want to go to college for the rest of my life. I mean, of course you do. If all you're doing is fucking drinking and going out to eat and sleeping until 10, of course you want to stay in college for the rest of your life.
Let's get fucked up. I'm next on the table. Who want what? I am champion at beer pong.
I am champion at beer pong. I had no idea what beer pong was. You know, I grew up in the Seattle area. I don't know. I feel like these kind of like drinking games are very regional. I'm like, what the fuck is beer pong? I had never heard of that, you know, and I was like in my 20s. I had never heard of beer pong. It's like, is this what people in the Midwest do? Is this what people in Cincinnati and Kentucky do in college? They play beer pong. It's just so small time, like beer pong and cornhole. I remember the first time they told me there was a game called cornhole, and I was like, what? You guys play a game called cornhole? That's cool, but I'm out. Whatever that is, I'm out. Cornhole is the SEC of drinking games, yes. Flip Cup is another one of these games that I found out about when I went to college in Ohio. Like, so many of these like white person experiences were new to me in Ohio. I found out all about the world of basically middle-class white people in Ohio. It was very eye-opening. I had no idea this stuff existed.
I can't tell you what I learned from school, but I can tell you a story.
I can tell you. Why are you talking like that, Asher Roth, with the whitest name of all time?
Yeah, of course I learned some rules, like don't pass out with your shoes on.
This is the musical equivalent of Flip Cup, yes.
When it comes to condoms, put 2 on.
We're only halfway through.
Time isn't wasted when you're getting wasted.
Time isn't wasted when you're getting wasted. Well, look, I don't think I can make it through the rest of this song. Does this song hold up? His one-hit wonder? Fuck no, it doesn't. Even back then, this song was bad, just purely because this is like the soundtrack to being basically a Midwestern college burnout that doesn't take your education seriously, who thinks that the entire purpose of college is just to sleep in until 3 p.m., eat pizza, and waste your fucking parents' money. Fuck this guy. Fuck this song. And yes, let's ban everyone who voted yes. Fuck this shit. Okay, next up, from the scene side of things. Face Down by the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. One flat iron was not enough for this shoot. I mean, everybody in this band, they were fighting over it beforehand. They were like, bro, quit hogging the flat iron. I need my turn. You know how curly my hair is. You can't just like hog that thing. But in all seriousness, you know, this song is about domestic violence. And this was like a mainstream radio song. And it's actually pretty cool that they addressed a topic like that and got that much success with it. And, you know, it legitimately probably helped some people get out of a bad situation. Unfortunately, a lot of times people stay in those sort of situations when they, you know, obviously should get out of it. And sometimes they just need to hear someone tell them it's time to get out. And I would have to think the song probably actually did help some people. I used to think this was Yellow Card because that lead kind of sounds like a violin. And I was like, oh, Yellow Card's back. This song's pretty cool. This guy has a great voice too. Great drum sound. From the chat here, I hope it actually helps some toxic men to introspect for once. I hope so. I'm doubtful, but I think it probably helped some women realize that it was time to get out of a situation. Great song, still absolutely holds up in my opinion. Like great mix, great performances, great message. I would say this definitely holds up. Good shit. This one, on a lighter note, I believe this is from like 1990 or something like that. I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. I don't know the story behind this. Weren't these guys like models or something like that? These guys are anti-vax lunatics now? Really? That's amazing. Look at that. This is so European. Like, could it get any more European than this? I don't think it could. This dude just looking straight out of fucking Belgium. Where are they from? Let's look. London, close enough. The Brothers. Okay. Okay, that's a little weird. Wait a minute. They're an English band formed by the brothers Fred and Richard. This is a little weird. This sort of thing with your brother. It's a little bit weird. Wearing the see-through shirt, you know, standing nipple to nipple with your brother. I'm not on board with that. That's a little strange. This guy in his like weird like stringer tank top getting out of this tiny little convertible in some crappy crooked street, as European as it gets.
Too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts.
His high-waisted jeans. Look at that blazing solo. Play that fucking thing. Look at that. Jesus. He looks like he's the front man of some Warped Tour band that did the thing where they wear the witchy Coachella thought hats in 2015. Remember when they all got this look? Now we know where they got it from.
Too sexy for my car, too sexy by far.
It is really catchy, isn't it? Look at that. This is where Craig Mabbitt got his 2015 aesthetic right here. The oversized black shirt, unbuttoned to the waist, the tight black pants, black shirts, and the witchy hat. There it is, and that's Kevin Thrasher right there. We found it.
Too sexy for my hat, what you think?
Oh, look at that. Flirtatiously knocking the hat off his brother's head. That's not weird at all.
I'm a model, you know what I mean?
I'm a model.
My little turn on the catwalk.
I do my little turn on the catwalk. You may not like it, but this is what peak male performance looks like. So does this song hold up? I would say no. It is catchy, but I'm not sure I would say it holds up, except for this. This is real. The vocal pattern in this Sepultura song is legitimately inspired by Right Said Fred. Max Kevlar has said this. I'm not joking. It's the same vocal pattern. Listen. He's done interviews talking about it. He legitimately got that vocal pattern from Right Said Fred. So does this song hold up? I would say it does not, but now, thanks to me, you will never be able to listen to Roots, Bloody Roots in the same way again. And so for that reason alone, I would say it kind of does hold up. Next up, we have...
Oh my God,
Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. I think this is from 91.
look at her butt. She looks like one of those rap guys' girlfriends.
Those rap guys. I wonder what she means by rap guy. Is that like how they call, when they say urban? What do you think they mean by urban? What do you think she means by rap guy?
They only talk to her because she looks like a total prostitute. Her butt is just so big.
And remember, this is 1991. The younger people in the audience may not remember, but it was not always cool to have a big butt. Mix-a-Lot was decades ahead of his time.
Look, she's just so black.
I like big.
There we go. Now she said it. She's just so black. There we go. The mask slips off. But guess what? We knew what you meant.
And I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. And when a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and
Look at this video set. I want to know, like, what was the conversation with the contractors who built this? So, like, okay, yeah, we want three, make it 4 giant butts, like big enough for Mix to stand on, like straddle both cheeks of the butts. How much will that cost us? Can we get an estimate on that? That's right. You wonder what happened to that massive butt stage. I wonder if Mix-a-Lot still has this. Last I heard, he lives in Maple Valley. I wonder if he still has this, like, in his barn in Maple Valley or something.
Got it going like a turbo vet. I'm tired of magazines saying flat butts are the thing. So fellas,
Yeah.
girlfriend got your butt.
Hell yeah.
Shake it, shake it,
Shake it.
That baby got back. With the open booty.
It's kind of true. I don't know whether you're joking, but it says here in the chat, this song was a force in positive social change. But it really actually was, for real. I mean, like, the beauty standards have definitely evolved since back then for the better, I would say. And this song was played, you know, a non-zero role in that.
I like 'em
Okay, well, we
round.
all know this song. The question is, did it hold up? The chat is clear. They said that this song does hold up, and I would agree. Obviously a little bit dated, but it's one of those songs that even though it's dated, it's a sound that was popular a long time ago. You could still play the song pretty much anywhere, and anybody of any age is going to know the song, and they're going to like it. I would say it holds up. I'm a fan, and Mix-a-Lot seems like a cool guy, too. Next up, speaking of power pop, we have Inside Out by Eve 6.
I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside. I wanna put my tender heart in a blender.
These colors, man, in the 90s, they just really loved these super saturated colors. I kind of like it.
I burn like a wicker cabinet.
This is another one of these bands that's kind of gotten retconned as pop punk, but listening to it now, really doesn't sound like pop punk at all. It almost sounds more like a somewhat poppier grunge or something like that. It really isn't pop punk. It's more like Weezer.
Time has gotten stale.
Pop grunge, yeah.
I wanna tear it off the wall.
Look at, man, that is some intense Y2K on both of their parts. Those like super tight braids with the bright orange baby doll tee straight out of the Delia's catalog. This girl with her crazy cyberpunk hair. We didn't know how good we had it.
I hear words in clips and phrases. I think sick like ginger ale.
It's a very raw guitar tone.
Swallow my pride, I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside. Find nothing but faith in nothing. I wanna put my tender heart in a blender.
That is a great fucking chorus. You cannot deny that. I think everyone would agree that this song holds up. Great chorus. This is another one of those songs you could play on the radio now and everyone would still know it, still love it. People of any age. But it is not just this song's amazing chorus that makes it stand up to me. It's the fact that, what is the dude from Eve 6? I don't even know his name. Max Collins, apparently. He has turned into a top tier shit poster on Twitter. If you don't follow him, you should. I was literally a virgin when I wrote the Heart in a Blender song, tweeting at Kamala Harris, Tool, Eric Trump, Axl Rose, Hillary Duff. Do you like the Heart in a Blender song? Jeffrey Epstein probably sang along to Heart in a Blender song at least once. Eve 6 is in heavy rotation at Home Depot. I ever tell you about the time the guy from Third Eye Blind told me he fucked my girlfriend? The Third Eye Blind guy, I like, that's a nice power move there. It's just referring to him as the Third Eye Blind guy. The Third Eye Blind guy had me fake arrested by a real cop in Alabama on tour because the night before I'd taken a big jar of candy from the front desk and said, I'm the singer of Third Eye Blind, I can do whatever I want. And they called his room at 3 a.m. telling him to give the candy back. This is some top tier shit posting. Go give him a follow if you haven't. Even if this song sucked, I would lie and say that it held up based on the strength of his shit posting. But not only is it a great song, he is also a fantastic shit poster. So 3 cheers to him. Nice job, Max. This song definitely holds up. And the last one we have, Cotton Eye Joe by Rednex. Let me see where these guys are from. Swedish, okay. Just as I thought. So, you guys must know this song, right?
Long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Elementary school dance hype.
Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
This is probably what Swedish people thought America was still like in 1999 or whenever this came out.
Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Tell me this, Europeans. When I finally take the entire continent of Europe, when I take the European people to court and I slam this down on the judge's desk as Exhibit D in the trial against Europe, what will your answer be? You were already worried when I laid down what does the fox say as Exhibit C. You started tugging at your collar, nervously wondering, oh shit, how are we going to get out of this one? You were already nervous, but you knew that the case was lost when I said, and ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Exhibit D in the trial against Europe, Cotton Eye Joe by Rednex. What will you say, Europe? What will you say? Asher Roth would be our reply. All right. Touche. Touche. That's when a panicked murmur would go through the courtroom like rumble, 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 rumble. Just when you thought that the tide had turned against Europe, they played Asher Roth card, and all of a sudden, America was not feeling so confident in their case. I like it. That's right. The writers of What Did the Fox Say leave the courtroom covering themselves with a coat. All right, my friends. Well, I think we know that this song's a certified classic. Does it hold up? You know, in a weird way, it does, right? I mean, every person listening to this knew it. 173 million views. It kind of holds up. I gotta say, I like it. As much as I disdain Europe, something about it, I like it.